live from the Dunkin Latte Lounge.
Welcome to the Dunkin Latte Lounge. My name is Garrett from Elvis Duran and the Morning Show. I'm super stoked to be sitting down in this virtual house lounge from Dunkin with Speelburg. Congratulations. I mean, album out. You've been working your butt off. Debut album. I mean, how do you even feel? Like, I've never put out an album. How do you feel right now?
Elated. It's surreal. For considering I've had this, a lot of these ideas down in some way or another for a couple years, and then it's on a hard drive, and then suddenly it's not. Suddenly it's out. It's on Apple Music and Spotify and all this stuff, and you're like, it goes from being this abstract concept, not abstract, but just this thing that like about and that your friends know about and your partner who you live with knows a lot about, and then suddenly the world knows a lot about it because we've been pushing it incessantly, and it's fun and it's out, and it's just very exciting.
It's a crazy. I equate it to like a snowball. You're on the top of a hill, and you just take that small little snowball, and it turns into I call it a positive avalanche because when I say avalanche, but it just turns into this massive thing from the tiniest little idea sitting wherever you are in the world at the time. Let's talk before we get started. Let's play a fun game. Where are you in the world right now, Speelburg? I mean, are U.S., international, Mars? I don't know. I'm watching Away on Netflix, so I don't know. I'm very into that right now. But
right, I haven't seen that.
Very, very good. Very, very good. Very fun show. It's more drama than anything else. And you're like, how do they turn something into, a drama about going to Mars? But it's all about four astronauts from different parts of the world in different countries all coming together, being the first mission to go to Mars, and their families. And I digress. We can watch that after this interview. But where in the world are you right now?
I'm currently in my studio in my apartment in Brighton in the UK.
All right. So have you been there for the last couple months, or is this, have you been traveling safely?
I had planned to go back to the States for a little bit, back in March, and that I was going to play South by Southwest, and all this stuff happened literally the week before, 6 days before I was supposed to go to Austin. There were bandmates that were like, is this happening? And I'm like, I don't know, man. I think it is. And then I think we got the call. They were like, no, they're pulling it. It's not happening. Luckily, the person, we were renting the Airbnb from, she was like, I totally get it. Here's all your money back. Flights, I think we lost a few, but it was just that the whole thing was going to be this big fun thing to go out and, promote the record and tell people about it, and then suddenly it's lost, and you're like, okay, well, how long is this gonna last? And you're just like, because you're unsure, and then within a couple days they're like, oh dude, there's Coachella might be canceled, and then like half an hour later they're like, it's completely gone, Coachella's canceled, and you're like, okay, so we've just been.
How do you stay positive? Like, so you have all this momentum going, got an album ready to go. You want the world to hear. You're about to play festivals galore, and then pretty much the world says, "Hey, time out on the play. We're shutting down for a little while." Like, how do you stay positive and not just, as some do, have fallen into like that hole, a dark hole, and keep going and doing what you want to do?
I think you try and wake up early, exercise.
I drink my water. Look, I got one of these big waters now. And
there you go.
I'm ahead of the curve.
Yeah. Well, stay hydrated. That's important. For a while, we were doing like trivia quizzes on Friday nights with friends over Zoom. That lasted a few weeks until we're all kind of like over it.
It's house party. Everybody was on house party.
House party lasted a week. And then they all have all our information, and I think I still haven't deleted it yet. Maybe I should.
Yeah.
I don't know. So there were some fun things, but really, it's been a really interesting time for me because obviously I'm not touring. Obviously, I'm not doing any like live shows whatsoever. But the whole time has been filled with directing music videos. So the label were like, here's your budget for your album. And I was like, right, I'm going to stretch this and just go out and direct music videos myself with a small little camera crew. And it's been super fun. And whereas I would have spent this time maybe writing my third record, I think switching and flexing the directing muscle has been really fun. And you get to like learn every time you do a new shoot.
Right.
We're now, we've done, I think 3 or 4 shoots with that team, and it's been great. So yeah, just been directing a lot and getting everything ready.
Being a director like that, so you get a budget. I don't know how this works. Now, if you decide to like, okay, I can make this work for, if I'm just saying they give you $50 and you're like, oh, I can make this work for 20. Do you get to pocket the rest, or do you got to give it back to the label and say, here's the rest of your money that I didn't use?
No. They're like, here's your budget. Make as many videos. You can make one and spend the whole budget, or
you can make 50. Yeah.
I've gone, okay, well, I'm going to make like 6.
That's super interesting. All right.
Yeah. So you just kind of have to be creative. There's an amount, and then you just go, well, I think because I'm not paying another director, we got one extra director to do Gwyneth that just came out. Her name's Maris Jones, and she is simply the best.
And we're going to talk about that in a second too. What I wanted to know too, being from New York, first time coming to New York, expectations, what was your, I grew up here, so I don't have that first time experience of New York, except maybe when I was like, 3 or 4, but who really remembers that? But for you, what was that first time like coming to New York City?
It was wild. It was, cause I think it's one of those cities that you grow up with, in pop. It's like so much of it is present in popular culture, be it
right,
movies, pictures, shows, whatever. Like it's so ubiquitous, and you see it all the time in anything that you consume. So to actually be there was a little bit surreal, but also you're kind of like, oh, well, I recognize this. And you if it's your first time in New York, you go to Times Square and you're like, wow, this is huge, and there's lights everywhere. But it was, there was a few touristy things I wanted to do. I love You've Got Mail. I wanted to go see the park at the end of You've Got Mail. And
you got to get it out of the way. First time there, second, maybe third trip, or it's like, all right, enough tourist stuff. Let's go find the little hidden gems of New York.
Exactly. Well, I mean, the second time I went with my fiance, and we did a little bit of that, but we also did some cool stuff. Like we went and saw Paul Simon's last ever concert. There was like a few
memories
things
like that. Exactly.
Yeah. So you kind of get to do like some cool memories that aren't just like, I mean, the Staten Island ferry was super fun, but I don't.
And free.
Free, exactly. Very important. It's free, especially if you're a tourist. New York, you're just like, all right, no, it's all part of the experience. Let's spend more money, but yeah, no.
I've had many of good naps from Manhattan to Staten Island around 11 p.m. Or 1 a.m. I don't know what time. So let's talk about Gwyneth Get Up. Very interesting way of this title and some maybe even future titles too. We were talking about being a fan of movies and acting. So how did you land on Gwyneth and Get Up? And then I want to ask if there's any future songs and future movies that you've been watching that we might hear about in the coming months and years.
Absolutely. I think the Gwyneth Paltrow being so huge has had like this kind of, I don't know, anytime anyone is that famous, rightly so, they have a huge target on their back and anyone can easily make fun of them. That's fine. But I think there's also something really cool. There's like this two-sided celebrity figure where like obviously insanely famous and in like these great huge movies and kind of beloved, but at the same time like criticized for being so huge and for selling candles that are called "This Candle Smells Like My Orgasm" and selling jade yoni eggs. So it's just like
for $500.
Sure, exactly.
Not that I've tried it or anything, and not that I've tried to buy it. I'm just
no, but like she's got to have some kind of self-awareness and
right,
like to sell like a yoni egg for that much. Obviously, you're gonna know
she's confident. She's very confident.
That's it. And for writing songs, it's really fun writing from a perspective of like a two-sided thing. There's the the guy from Semisonic was on Song Exploder, and he was talking about closing time, and he was talking about how at that point was writing a lot of songs from like each lyric kind of had to mean two things, and I really like doing that. But I also like writing songs where like the main character has like they're flawed in a certain way. It's just a bit more human that way, and what better subject than one of the most beautiful people on the planet, Gwyneth Paltrow.
All right, let's get into it right now. This is Speelburg. Gwyneth, get up.
Right on.
I got this. I talk too much, my opinions multiply. I feel like Michael Keaton with countless lookalikes. I could keep talking all night long. Now moving circles, you slowly walk away, and I keep talking, but I can't
right, welcome back to the Dunkin Latte Lounge. My name is Garrett from Elvis Duran in the Morning Show. That is Speelburg right there. You just listened to Gwyneth. You saw Gwyneth get up, and super interesting of how you came up with Gwyneth. Like you were saying, you found just not her on screen, just her in general. Anybody else inspiring you right now that you've been thinking about and concepts for songs?
I mean, I just like every other person my age just watched the Michael Jordan documentary, which was, I mean, I watched it twice. I watched it once, and then I was telling my girlfriend she should watch it, and then maybe just watch the first 10 minutes, and then ended up just watching the whole thing.
Right. Yep. I did the same thing. It was all right. As much as I wanted to, because I'm a New York fan. I mean, I grew up him just tearing my heart out at the age of 10.
Sure.
So, but as you get older, you appreciate it. But yeah, no, Jordan documentary was amazing, especially how he worked behind the scenes. Just being a business guy, just like you have become a director as well as a musician, of thinking
Sure.
about those little nuances that go such a long way.
And his security guard, the small security guard dude with the blonde curly hair,
playing quarters.
That guy needs his own show. There were so many cool things and so many weird things about that documentary. I think I could easily watch it again in a year.
So a song called Jordan or Pippen could be coming out, or Rodman, who knows?
I mean, the trifecta, a song about all three of them being best buds.
There you go. I'm not saying that I deserve any type of song credit, but we'll just leave that there. All right, let's talk about your next song that you're gonna perform for us, Crash and Burn. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, Crash and Burn, another fun one. I directed the video for that one as well. You should go check it out. It's got these football players basically following me out in the world, and then the idea that I had was just a couple football players pummeling into me, and then from there just got the camera crew and was like, let's go shoot this stuff.
Just follow me.
Yeah, just follow. We'll get a couple friends, dress them up in football gear. Last minute, we got in touch with the Brighton American football team, because if you were to say football in England, they'd be
right. Exactly.
But they were like, yeah, they lent us their gear, the Scorpions. They were super nice. And then we just went out into a couple parks, filmed stuff, and then spent a few days editing. It just all came together really easily. The track itself is built on this sample that I got from a KPM. It's all production music stuff.
Right.
And my publisher were like, we own KPM, sample away. You're like a kid in a candy store. You're like, great. I thought it was going to be
good sound, quality sound. You got to. Not many people appreciated the little nuances in production that a lot of people it goes in one ear out the other, and they're like, I like it, but until someone like you and I break it down, it's very, very interesting.
And there's with sampling, it can be tedious to clear, but because this was coming, from the higher ups, they're like, you help yourself. It made the process a lot more fun in terms of making the music, because you're not like, oh, I'm gonna have to recreate this later. You're just like, no, we can just use this and give them, rightfully so, their due part of the song. And it really came together quite easily instrumentally. A lot of the stuff I write, I'll start instrumentally, and then I think I spent a year just sitting on it, just trying to write the right vocals. And I wrote one version, and then in the other, and then write one with a friend. And then eventually went back and just kind of in one session did a more laid back, almost spoken word, sungy kind of thing. And then was like, oh, that's exactly what the song needs to be.
Cool. All right, let's get into it right now. This is Speelburg with Crash and Burn.
On the side of a bus when I climbed to the top of Vesuvius. I got a part you were born to play, and I want you to be in the movies. I went on a date with your daughter. I was a 99th radio caller. Can I get in on a +5? I think I'm having a weird night. Do the math, I don't carry a gun, and I don't believe in love at first fight. Call it 6 so I could play in the sun. I crash and burn. Crash and burn. Oh yeah. Found a body in the desert, and I found one in the woods. I never tried that hard to survive, but I never wished I would. Your father won't stop calling me, he loves me more than you. He got divorced, got a leather jacket and a tattoo. And I don't believe in love at first fight. Sold my house so I could live on the run and never get choked up on a good night. But then I crash and burn. Yeah. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. Crash and burn all day. Through the faded walls, midnight colors, they set you off. Have you had enough? Have you had enough? Have you had enough? Have you had enough? 1, 2, 3, na 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 na. Na 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 na. Crash and burn all day. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Crash and burn. Oh yeah.
All right, well, welcome back, Dunkin Latte Lounge. I hope you closed your eyes and listened to the song as much as you could have watched it right now too. That's the way I like to listen to music at times too. First listen, I'll just listen to it, and then you start breaking it down. That's where I start. Second through, that's where I start adapting the feelings for music. I don't know how you take in listening to music, but that's my preference per se.
This is a conversation I have a lot with my girlfriend, where we talk about how we both listen to music. So she's very lyric based. Like she hears a song and like goes straight to the lyrics. Like when I'll play her Stuff of Mine, she'll be like, "Oh, what did you mean by that? And what does this mean?" Whereas like I always hear music and production first.
Yep, same with me too. Maybe it's a male female thing. Who knows? But
I don't think it is. No, there's like I know plenty of dudes that like listen to lyrics first, and then I think like if you're from like maybe a musical background, maybe that educates that a little bit. I don't know.
Right.
But there's two different kind of people, the lyrics and the music people, and I guess I fall into the latter camp.
So it's interesting. I was just listening to an interview with Fitz from Fitz and the Tantrums, and he's saying during the last 6 months, he has made 50 songs. He has written and done 50 songs. He thinks that they either could be the best in the world or they just sound like gibberish, blah, 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 but he doesn't know. For you, the last 6-7 months, what has that writing, producing, like how many songs have you in your head done over the last couple of months?
Last couple months less because I've been directing loads.
Right.
And that just takes up quite a lot of time.
Oh,
like
of course.
it was like back-to-back shoots, but before that I did I do a lot of writing with like for other people's projects. And I did a few Zoom sessions, which was a bit surreal to start with, but then it's kind of like anything else. You're just like, okay, well, it's, write a song. We've got 4 hours. Let's do this.
It starts out with a lot of, you got to turn on your mic. Your mic's muted. Your mic's muted.
Is this thing on?
Yeah.
No, there was a lot of that, but also I was writing for projects, thinking like, I was going to change or like bring them into this kind of direction, and then ended up sitting on just like a bunch of new demos for which I'm like, I might actually use those for me. And
hold on to that one. Yeah.
Yeah. And and they've started like shaping kind of the sound that I want to go for my third album, which is super fun. I mean, this is the debut. Porsche just came out, but
Right.
I've written and recorded and produced. Like the second one is done and mastered and ready to go. So that'll probably come out next year.
It's like filming a James Cameron movie. You do back to back. You get it all
Exactly.
done. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right.
It's like Prince and his vault. You just accumulate them in the background. But yeah, I think third record, it has a theme now and it's got a vibe, and it's a concept now. But yeah, it's coming along.
So, Spielberg, first, thank you very much for everything today. Before we get
Thank
into
you.
everything I know, let's hit up the socials, follow along, go get the album. It's already out, Porsche. But for those that aren't fans, that haven't been following already, where can we follow along with you?
Instagram, Facebook. There's this new thing called Triller, so you can.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's supposed to be the next big thing.
Who knows? TikTok. They. I think they're trying to buy out TikTok. Who knows? Who knows? With
Yeah.
this? Every day it's something new.
But so yeah, Instagram. It's SPEELBURG.
All right, so let's get into everything I know. Tell us a little bit about it before we ask you to play.
Well, so this song, first time I went to New York, I had been emailing over SoundCloud with Cautious Clay, and it was, we were both fans of each other's stuff. So when I had this idea, brought it over to him. He recorded some sax, which was pretty cool. Did some extra like percussion bits, but it was just really fun to like be in New York and for the first time just have that kind of energy and make.
So you
and
can
come
hear
back.
it. You can hear it in the song.
Sure. I mean, it's a very
Yeah.
energetic song. It's very like Talking Headsy kind of influence. It seems like the sax is coming back, so it's nice to hear that.
Love a good saxo beat.
Sure, yeah. It's very upbeat. I'll probably go into the lyrics later once they've had a little bit of time to breathe. But yeah, this is everything I know.
This is everything I know. Spielberg, thank you so much. And thank you everyone for watching. DunkinLatteLounge.com. Get all the information. Hashtag Dunkin Latte Lounge. And Spielberg, we will talk soon. This is everything I know.
In Paris, I woke up, the three of us in love. What more can I say? Don't wanna give too much away. Sometimes these nights just ain't the same. They take you by surprise. I changed my name to something more exotic. How can I explain? How can I explain? How can I tell you everything I know? Tell you everything I know. Tell you everything I know. Tell you everything I know. In Barcelona we slept in. Spent too much the night before. The lifestyle so expensive. So you called your dad and asked for more. Sometimes these nights just ain't the same. They take you by surprise. I changed my name to something more exotic. How can I explain? How can I explain? How can I? say. I got somewhere we can stay. The country club or the estate. So we moved down to LA. Sometimes these nights just ain't the same. They take you by surprise. I changed my name to something more exotic. How can I explain? How can I complain? How can I tell you everything I know? Tell you everything I know. Tell you everything I know. Tell you everything I know. Can tell you everything. Can I tell you everything?
Live from the Dunkin Latte Lounge.